Hey everyone, it's a beautiful day in California. I am your host, SoCal Val, and this is my new Digital Creators series. So whether you're already creating content as a blogger, influencer, etc., or you're just looking for more ways to be social media savvy, this is the show for you. And today we've got a wonderful guest that's coming to give us some insight into fashion styling and all things glam. Of course, she looks stunning as always. Please welcome Isabel Kelly, aka the Wardrobe Edit UK. Isabel, how you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Of course, you look fabulous. I have to ask you first, who are you wearing?
Well, it's not very exciting today. It's very, very boring, actually. This is a Zara top, and I am desperately trying not to wear as much fast fashion. So it's an old one, which is good.
Yeah.
But I am really keen to try and wear a bit less of that. So yes.
Definitely. We're all sort of trying to be more mindful, especially in lockdown, of, restyling what we already have and things like that. I've got River Island on today via eBay. What I do a lot of times is I see something in River Island that I love, and then I wait till it goes on sale, or I check eBay for it. So
absolutely. Yeah,
I love eBay.
completely
agree.
And
it's sort of nice to recycle clothes that way too, and you're kind of buying pre-worn stuff, which is good.
Yeah, I think I find as well with a lot of those sites that it may say pre-worn, but actually most of them still have their tags in. Someone's bought it, shoved it at the back of the wardrobe, not even worn it. So
exactly, that was the case with this one. Yeah, and I'm gonna admit that I also wore pink so I could match the little graphics that I have here, but that's just me being way too extra.
Wish I'd known.
Isabel, exactly. But if fans are not familiar with your brand yet, can you tell us about your brand and how you got started?
Yeah, of course. I am a stylist and a fashion writer. And I kind of freelance with the writing and have a blog, and I kind of guest blog for different publications, sometimes kind of online content as well, which is great. And I originally started out in PR and kind of fell into that. Kind of came out of university. I'd been working for a music production company and had wanted to be a music producer, and so I'd gone to kind of uni, trained to do music, did all of the kind of sound engineering, realised I was absolutely pants at it, and needed a job, stuck in London. So ended up working for a PR agency. Really didn't enjoy it, but that's what I stayed in. But the parts I loved were things like the photo shoots, the kind of creative planning of them, going along, meeting kind of the makeup artists, selecting the models, whatever it was. And I loved that part of it, and spent a lot of time kind of shadowing as well some stylists and makeup artists. I was really lucky that kind of got quite friendly with some, and I really loved the creative side. But what I didn't love so much was how fake it was to get a great image. So you'd be there, with bulldog kind of clips down the back of an outfit to kind of pull it in and cinch it. Lighting, a lot of post-editing. And I really sort of felt that I wanted to do something that was working with kind of real women, real body shapes. I think post having my daughter, who's now 11, I really noticed a lot of friends kind of chatting more about their body shape had changed through pregnancy. My mum's friends were talking either kind of post-menopause, retirement, lifestyle changes, and I just felt that I could do something that felt worthwhile. It was about kind of making people feel better about themselves and their bodies and all those sorts of things. So I kind of did a really intensive stint of kind of training with an amazing stylist who'd originally trained herself with Gok Wan, and then I kind of launched the business. So yeah.
Fantastic. And the rest is history, as they say. Well, I have to tell you guys that are watching, let me tell you a little story about Isabel. So we're in Milton Keynes. You don't know what to say, too. We're in Milton Keynes, and there's a blogger event. Shout out to Perception PR. They're amazing. And there was a blogger event over Christmas, and I hadn't met Isabel yet. I knew there were some bloggers coming. And what's funny is, like, in my sort of wrestling world, I don't get very nervous anymore. I've been doing it forever. But I guess because I'm such a girl's girl, I was kind of nervous. Like, what do I wear? Who am I going to know? Oh my gosh, And I walked in, and Isabel was there, statuesque, elegant AF, with, these beautiful earrings and a leopard shoe. And I just thought, I literally elevated her up and down and went like, we're gonna be friends. Like, she was so stunning. And you know, you can tell when somebody's sort of buying, you know, what's trendy and whatever, but then there are people that walk around and have this sort of intrinsic style and are just effortlessly chic, and that's how I would describe your style. So I have to ask, where did your style sort of evolve from? Who do you draw inspiration from?
Thank you. And I have to say, I felt the. I know I said it, but I felt the same about you at the time.
Oh, no.
That when we met, I just sort of, I don't know, it was just an instant click, and I just thought, I love her. Like instantly.
We need to go for cocktails immediately. Yeah.
I know I'm going to get on with her. Oh gosh, I mean, growing up, I was born in the 70s and grew up, you know, my kind of child through the 80s and 90s. And for me, that kind of fashion period, I loved. Mm-hmm. And so I always wanted things like rah-rah dresses. At that point, I loved Bananarama and the kind of ripped jeans, the amazing hair. I just loved all of that. And a lot of my influences, I guess, were very much through music, because I was really into music. There was an element of wanting to be a bit of a rock chick. I was obsessed, still am, with Guns N' Roses, and still kind of try and bring that in. So even if it's kind of classic, like today, you know, classic top, I've got ripped jeans on.
Oh yeah.
Because I like to kind of mix that. And I don't know, it's just kind of evolved from that. I think I've always loved maybe more, as you say, maybe more classic styles. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't say I'm trend-led in any way. And great if you are, but it's just not for me. And I think there are certain trends I know, like that really kind of floaty dress thing that's going on, the whole buffet dress, that does not work for me at all. I mean, you know, I was pregnant, I did it then. You don't want to look pregnant now. Don't need to do it again now. It's fine. So yeah, I'm not a big lover of kind of following trends for the sake of it.
So you mentioned sustainability earlier, and we love hearing about the charitable side of fashion. And I also wanted to ask you about your current projects, and I noticed that you've been doing a collaboration with Women's Aid. So can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I would really love to. They got in touch with me recently to ask, would I be one of a really small handful of people that donate some items from my own wardrobe? So there are some really great kind of pre-loved clothing companies that basically sell, you know, a variety, and Cadonia, one of them. They typically sell kind of high-end items, maybe designer pieces, and they got in touch to ask would I collaborate with them, which literally meant I was picking a couple of items out of the wardrobe and donating them. It was as simple as that for me. But actually, what I felt really was important was that every single penny from the sale of those items and the other people they'd asked to do it to was going to go directly to Women's Aid. Mm-hmm. And I know at the moment that Women's Aid have really been struggling, purely because, you know, you look at the kind of situation we're in currently and lockdown, and if you're living in a kind of scenario where there's domestic abuse within the home, mm-hmm. you're locked up 24/7 with your abuser. And you know, the call for their services has been massively increased. Mm-hmm. So that's proving very tricky for them to be able to deliver the services. So funding obviously is really critical at the moment. So it was about donating to help a charity that I felt very, and still do feel very strongly and very passionately about, having had friends and family that have unfortunately needed their services.
So speaking of lockdown, how have you been keeping motivated during this craziness? I mean, even photo shoots for me, you know, have been limited to my backyard, my closet, and you're always so wonderful to be posting new content. How are you staying motivated?
Well, I'm quite lucky in that I never ever posted pictures outside anyway. Mm. So mine have always been stood in front of my wardrobe. I've never ever sort of shot with outside pictures, purely because I just don't like it. I couldn't stand outside on the street with a tripod, and I'm like, great if you can. I'm just never going to be one of those girls that can, you know, pose up a storm.
It's embarrassing sometimes, yeah. And you see people doing it, you're like, she looks ridiculous. But then if you're doing it, you're thinking, oh my gosh, everyone knows that I look ridiculous right now.
Yeah, in there. Yeah, basically. Mm. So for me, nothing's changed.
Well, what's coming up next for the Wardrobe Edit UK? Are you excited about upcoming projects?
Yeah, I've got a few things in the pipeline, which is always really nice. I've got a number of writing projects as well, again, which I love, kind of guest blog posts for different brands. So that's really lovely. I am looking at kind of changing some of the things that I do with the business. So I'm in the process now of working with someone to kind of make some, I'm hoping, significant changes to kind of push it in a slightly different direction. So I will look forward to kind of telling you about that when that's ready to go.
That's exciting. We'll keep an eye out for you. Of course, we have your Instagram up here on our page, but which social media sites have you found that really work for you? Is it purely Instagram? And if it is, why?
Interestingly, for the actual business, I would say Instagram doesn't work for me. And it's been great for collaborations. It's been great to kind of meet people. But I would say purely for clients, a lot of clients have said, oh, I noticed you via a Google search or, you know, Facebook. So it feels more traditional how a lot of my clients have found me. But then they've said they've kind of referenced Instagram as they just wanted to check. And so they went back to Instagram to kind of see what I was wearing, and which is great. And that's the whole point of me using it.
Right.
Yeah.
I have sort of a theory that if I'm going to get my hair cut by someone, I want their hair to look fabulous pretty much at all times. If I'm going to get my makeup done by somebody, I will literally find the girl in boots or wherever it may be and think, okay, can you make me look like you? I love your makeup. So do you feel that it's important, or do you feel pressure being a stylist that you kind of always have to look like very put together and very glam, or is it something that just comes naturally to you?
I have found, I would say, a bit more pressure with, you know, I guess always needing to feel fairly pulled together. But I'll be honest, I was never the kind of girl anyway that would go out in jogging bottoms. I didn't own any until I don't know if you ever... I mean, literally none. I found a pair at the back of a drawer that my mother-in-law had given me about 3.5 years ago.
Like, thanks.
I was like, that is a result. So I have been literally living in those at home. They're going to go on after this. But
I have cycling shorts on right now. I sure do. People would be horrified.
Yeah, gotta be done. But other than that, I'm not that kind of girl. I always wear makeup. I wear it on the beach. I know that's tragic. No. I do. I've worn it through every spa I've ever been to. Makeup. Yeah, and we're like in a steam room, and my friend's like, "Yeah, it is. You really need to." I know.
Your face is melting. It's now on the floor. Do you want to fix it?
Staying on. Yeah.
That's funny, and I think that's why you and I met. Maybe we do get along, as I sort of sensed that. And there's nothing wrong with the C word being casual, but I will say that I don't always reach for casual stuff. I love, obviously, sparkle. It looks like I'm in a damn disco right now, and makeup and things like that. And you always have absolutely flawless accessories, and you always look so polished. That's the word I would use to describe your style. And I think that's not so prevalent anymore. You know, people tend to like the loungewear and the athleisure. What are some of the things that you see people wearing that you think, please just let this trend go away?
I don't know. I mean, I am definitely all for, you've got to wear what you feel good in. But I think that's the whole point. You've got to feel good in it. Otherwise, it does bring you down. And it might seem really frivolous to some people that it's just kind of clothes and it's fashion. But actually, it does make a massive difference. And it really does. You know, and I think I've noticed that a lot more with this kind of current situation of being in lockdown, that a lot of people are saying, oh God, I've had another really, you know, rubbish day. I'm stuck in the house and whatever else. And it does sound very flippant to say, actually, kind of maybe sometimes dressing up can make a massive, massive difference to your mood, but it really does.
It does. And everyone that I speak to, they'll say, oh my gosh, I did my hair today. I did my makeup today, and I feel like my old self. And it really gave me a boost. And that's what I think fashion is all about. And you seem to have the same idea that it really is a mood booster, and you're doing it for yourself and nobody else. One final question to you, because we are here as women supporting other women, or in some cases men. Are there bloggers or influencers or anyone in fashion that you like to follow and that you want to give shout outs to?
There are so many.
Yay!
So many. I almost wouldn't even know where to start. But there are a few. If you are on Instagram, have a look at Just a Uniform. She is incredible, really creative, works with some really great independent brands. She works with some sustainable brands. I just love her creativity, and she's the nicest person as well. We've met and she's just fab. Santina has an account called Hues of White. And again, it's just so beautiful to watch, so kind of well put together. She features some beauty pieces and, you know, some fashion, and I just love the feel of it. She's British, her parents are Italian, and you can kind of feel that lovely influence.
That's a fun mix.
Such a great mix, and you can see that in her kind of edit as you go through it, and she's again just so lovely. Oh my God, there are so many. I can't.
There's so many. That's good though. And what I love when you're describing the people that you like following, you start saying things like I do, like, oh my gosh, and it makes you actually have a physical reaction. And that should remind you and all of the creators out there that are watching, what you're doing matters, because I'm the same way. I follow a girl named Blair Edie, and she is my, I could get chills talking about how amazing her style is. And I look at her Instagram and her posts, and I just think, wow, I physically have a reaction to her post. She's so beautiful. And she just sort of makes you live in this sort of fantasy world of, you know, I want to wear polka dots with stripes with a hat the size of Montana on the beach.
Absolutely.
Like, she's just everything. So what you're doing matters, all of you creators, and of course, Isabel, what you're doing clearly matters, and you are doing it very stylishly. So thank you so much for joining us here. We have your Instagram to look forward to for some more posts, and all of you that are not already following Isabel on Instagram, do so now. Isabel, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. All right, guys, there's more California Digital Creator Series coming up, so stay tuned for more.